welcome. My name is Misery, and this is episode 7 of Inside the Mind of a Masters Terran Player. Today we are looking at a Terran versus Protoss game that I've been saving up for a while. This was a pretty long and chaotic game, and we're going to go over my thought process throughout, what we could have done better, and just kind of look at a lot of crisis management this game. This game had a lot of it. It was just crazy from start to finish how my opponent opened up and how the game kind of developed. So we're going to speed through a little bit of it because it is a 30-minute game. Usually our games are about 20 to 22 minutes max on these replays for the series, but in this case we're just gonna speed it up a little bit because it's a little bit longer. So I typically do the same thing every game. I'll always Reaper expand against Protoss. It's the safest, most common build you can do, and I'll 17 scout. And right away, I noticed that he's got 2 gas, he's chronoing out a zealot, and he's got a cyber core. So right away, I'm thinking, all right, we're being proxied. There's a proxy gate somewhere on the map, and he's already got a zealot coming my way. So instead of building on the low ground, we build our CC on the high ground to be safe, get our Reaper out, complete the wall, and the next step will be getting a bunker and adding our factory. So we'll speed it back up. The Reaper, I want to scout to try and see if there is any kind of robo or Stargate follow-up on my side of the map. And here we are, we see the probe already, and I'm thinking, great, we got this out of the way. It's very unlikely that he's going to be proxying a Stargate here when there's already a pylon over on this side. And if he is doing something like a Stargate over here, this is going to buy me time already because I've killed the probe. And the Zealot's not going to do anything quite yet. At the same time, while that's all happening, I want to get my second gas, the factory started, a reactor, and hopefully a medevac, a starport, so we can get a medevac and do a drop. We shouldn't ever be able to kill this pylon, but in this particular instance, the Protoss lets us do it. He lets us get the pylon for free, which is very nice. And now, what we want to do now is scout for any other proxies. Now, our opponent doesn't actually go for another proxy quite yet. Instead, he goes for the hidden gold base, which on this map now, I should be scouting for this every time when I see a weird build. Something like what he's doing, I should scout for this right away, because had I found out about this gold base, and we came close, I did scout for proxies around this side of the map. Had I actually looked for the gold base, this probably could have been ended in about 10 to 15 minutes instead of where it ends up going, because now I'm scared. I still haven't seen an expansion here with my Reaper, and I actually see a Dark Shrine and a second gateway. So I'm thinking, all right, well, there's no robo in his main. I can probably float this base over and start mining there while keeping my main base shut off from Dark Templar until I can get a Raven out. So that's what we're looking at right now. Unfortunately for me, he is almost going to be mining from this gold base, and I have no idea about it. I'm just kind of on the back foot because of the Dark Templar play, and I didn't see that he was also researching charge. So it's a little tough to deal with all this, and especially when you don't know there's a gold base, it's going to all kick in fairly quicker than I expected. So Bonkaroonie, being a 5k Protoss, goes in, gets one Marine, forces a scan, and then gets out. So good play from him. But once the Raven comes out, I'm going to want to try and take this actual natural expansion and try to be able to be safely take this, because right now I'm on the back foot. I haven't seen his base yet. To my knowledge, he hasn't taken a natural to my knowledge. But little do we know, he's got a gold base, he's got double upgrades, and now he's got a natural base too. So he's technically on 3 bases now to our 1.5, not even a half. We're mining from, we have 3 workers here and a couple mules. So mostly I just want to try and slowly take this base and be as defensive as possible right now, because in my mind, like, some crazy all-in is about to hit me. But because I'm still not looking for this gold base, this is just it's gonna get more and more out of control, because he's constantly mining from this. He doesn't even really need that much gas with what he's doing. He's just getting lots of gateways, and he's gonna try and overwhelm me with charge lots. So I'm trying to be diligent with the Scout and Marines lately. This was a replay from about 3 weeks ago. So, it's not I'm not as diligent as I could be, or I have been as diligent as I have been lately. But, we send the Cyclones across to try and find out what the heck he is doing. Where is his all-in? Where is his vision? Meanwhile, he's got DTs on my side of the map. And really, I just want to see if he's taking a third base yet. We see that there's no third base in either location for a normal third base. Little do we know, this is still happening. But we're able to see what his army comp is. So I'm like, holy shit, it's a lot of Zealots. It's a big 2-base play. Technically, I should be all right because I'm now almost on 3-base economy. So as long as I keep defensive here, I don't let the charge lots in, I should be all right. I'm even flying some more SCVs over to that island so I can get a little bit more out of it before he finds out about it, if he finds out about it. So this is the kind of the play, just kind of play defensive and not get steamrolled by the Zealots, and that's why we got the wall set up the way that I've got it. I'm trying to get Drilling Claw Widow Mines and some Ghosts because I saw that it was that it was Archon Zealot, and Bio with Ghost and a Raven and Drilling Claw Widow Mines does really well against that. So everything kind of going according to my plan. I just don't know that he's going to be as maxed as quickly as he's going to be maxed because of that nasty gold base that he took, that cheeky gold base that he took. So now he's got a scary 170 supply army. He's almost maxed out at 10 minutes, and I'm thinking that I'm actually in a position to move out here. This is kind of the first mistake here, is I see this coming and I am already out of position. I need to cancel, get in the bunkers, and get these depots raised as soon as possible. Like, I should probably even stim to do it. But instead, it takes me a second to realize what's happening, and now, oh shit, here he comes. So I get an EMP, a couple of the Widow Mines go off, but you can see that supply difference really doing its job. He's killing all the workers here. One thing I do have in my favor, and a lot of times I would leave a game like this if there was a robo unit. If there was an observer and a couple of immortals, I would have probably left the game because all of my Widow Mines would die. But because there's no observer in my base, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I can come back, because realistically I've only lost this base, which has not been mining for that long. The island is at full saturation. I've got like a sim city here that's gonna be difficult for Zealots and Archons to attack into. So if I can maybe hold here, I think I only saw him on 2 bases. If I knew he had all this, maybe I would have left, because that's a lot of stuff. And my economy is about to go down to the shitter. But we clean everything up. We lose a lot, but I clean everything up. So this is a case where I would say don't surrender until you can see the army advantage. Because really I have the army. Right now I've got the army advantage. I've killed everything. My worker count is terrible, but I've got pretty good tech with the Drilling Claw Widow Mines. I've got Ghosts out. I don't have great upgrades, but I've got good enough where I can fight him kind of. He's gonna be 3-3 here, which is really scary, but I haven't seen any splash damage from him right now, and that's kind of the key right now, is that if I've got splash damage, I've got Ghosts, and he's got Zealot Archon. That's not particularly good against this many Drilling Claw Widow Mines, and he has no observers, so I was able to keep almost all of the Widow Mines alive. So he's very diligent in sending Dark Templars across. I'm able to catch that one, which was very nice, but you'll see soon he is very, very diligent with the single Dark Templar. He's gonna send one across right now. He's gonna send a Zealot and some DT into my main base while I'm moving across. So my reasoning for moving across right now is he did a ton of damage to me economically. I cannot let him sit and take it beyond 3 bases or even 4 bases. I have to do something with these units that I saved after his attack. I have to do something here. So moving across, I lose a Widow Mine or 2 here. This is kind of a scary ramp to be fighting up, but there is no sentry. I can see that there's no sentry, so you know, I take down the rocks just in case he warps a couple in. And here he comes, you know, huge mine hits and the EMPs. The fight's going the way I want it to go. You know, we're able to get some reinforcements across, but on my side of the map, he does his diligence. He gets that warp prism in and a couple of units. You know, even though he needs to be defending right now, we're able to kill a lot of units, but he just is going to kill a CC here with the DT. He's got zealots in here. Like, everything's kind of going wrong for us right now in our main base, but you know, I'm able to do a lot of counter damage on his side of the map. Now, this is something I need to be more mindful of in the future, is Protoss players going DT and warping in defensive Dark Templar. There's a lot of times where I just totally forget that they can do that, and you know, I'm focused on all these units in my base, so you know, I pick up everything that's left. Hope, you know, I saved half of the units that were there, but you know, 3 or 4 DT were able to get quite a few kills there, and even a rallied medevac, which was a little sad. But you know, both of us in just a terrible economic state. I'm lucky to be mining out of this, and I'm actually trying to rebuild like a main command center from that island. So just a chaotic game, and now just single Dark Templars over and over again. That's what I have to deal with for the next 15 minutes of this game, and that's really all he can afford because he's almost mined out this gold base. So, but again, because I haven't seen a huge army lead for him, I don't want to leave. I still have a mining base, kind of. You know, we've lost a lot of units, but my tech feels better than his because he hasn't gotten any Robotech yet. So I want to stay in this game until I see Robo units, and then, you know, maybe if I saw 3 Colossus, I'd be like, all right, well, that's game over. You know, we lost a lot of CCs. That's pretty cut and dry. But you know, he's spent a lot of his money. He's mined out this whole gold base, and he's lost so many zealots. If I don't know if we can go to resources lost. Yeah, he's lost way more resources worth of units, and that's almost all in zealots. It's so many units he's lost. But here he is, another Dark Templar just coming in and sniping one of my last 2 SCVs in my main. And gets to the point now where, you know, I'm going to pick up SCVs from the island and bring them back to my main base, so you know, just so I can continue mining 3 patches there and try to mine from the natural that I haven't even touched, really. I've almost mined 1 rock out. And you know, it's not looking good, but you know, we did almost as much damage to him when we came over and killed his natural. You know, his natural has a lot of mining left in it as well because he mined so much over at the gold base and never really tried to take it back. So now, you know, we clean up another Dark Templar at our natural. I've got a Raven rebuilt again, and I want to move across as quickly as possible before that Colossus, before any Colossus tech comes in, because I did see this last time when we went across and killed the natural. We did see the Colossus tech or Colossus Horde Disruptor tech, so it's a little scary. And he finally does shut this down. So now I'm like, okay, well, at least I can fly it to this base, because I actually almost mined out most of this, which was nice. It went almost as unnoticed as his gold base that I still have not seen. And I don't think I actually scouted at all until, you know, I look at the replay afterwards. And I'm like, holy crap, he actually took that gold base. What the heck? So again, I want to do as much. I want to get there fast. I want to go fastest possible route to get to his base and do more damage to him, because I still feel like I'm really behind. In reality, I'm actually ahead in army supply. And I have the better tech still. My army could crush his right now, but because we keep going past each other, you know, he's gonna walk around this long way because he's got the pylon over here, and I'm trying to go the short way, and here we go. We're in another awkward situation where, fuck, I'm gonna lose all these workers again and another CC. So I turn around, and I never want to get into a base trade scenario where I lose CCs against a Protoss that could build DTs, because I never want him to stop my units on his side of the map by warping in a couple of DTs. So that's why I want to turn around here and clean this up, because if I can clean this up, which is pretty easy, you know, I lose a lot in the process, but my army supply now is double of his, and a lot of his units are in Dark Templar and observers scattered across the map. So I just need to get mining again. I've got 3 workers. I just need, you know, a little bit of mining, so I can just build a couple more units. The supply is really even, and I just really need to get across the map and do some damage. So he does get to Colossus tech, and now I'm getting across the map finally, and another Dark Templar is going to come by and kill one of my 3 workers that's left. It's going to distract me long enough to actually botch this engagement a little bit, because he has a lot of units here and my mines are way ahead of the rest of my units, but you know, I do get a couple of them burrowed in time. The Raven's able to disable one of the Colossus, which helps tremendously while I'm able to clean up the Zealots. Does a great job there. So, you know, we're not able to totally smash this engagement like we should have been able to, because of, you know, me being distracted. I actually end up losing another CC. Funny enough. I wonder what the CC count is. I think I've lost like 4 to Dark Templars. But now it's just about, you know, denying his economy as much as he's denied mine. He's got 23 workers. I've got 8. But he doesn't really have nexuses in a place where he can mine. He's got his main nexus. He can mine from this nexus. This one has no minerals left. So I'm in a surprisingly very good position here, because he has to long distance mine or send all of his workers to this base here. He just has no mineral income really. And I don't really either. But, you know, as soon as I can finally secure one of these bases, at least I can call down some mules. And I still got those tech units. I've still got ghosts. I've still got a Raven. And I've got a lot of medevacs. So I just need to be able to mine enough minerals to kind of replenish some of the bio. And I should be able to, you know, kill anything he throws at me, as long as we actually engage on our terms, not on his terms, which has been the entirety of the game. It's always been on his terms. And again, another just super diligent with those Dark Templar. He sends another one over. He even has a stalker on this island still in case I try to come back. But this is an engagement here that I kind of botched. My ghosts are out front like they should be, but I don't EMP anything. I have the opportunity to EMP all of the sentries here, and I try to turn around instead. And I lose 2 ghosts and some Raven energy. And then I even stim and run into the force field. So that's something where that could have been game ending. If I EMP the sentries and disable a Colossus, we just win the game there. Instead, now I'm in this awkward position where I'm like, okay, let's try and drop into your main and do some damage to your tech buildings, maybe kill some pylons, fight somewhere where sentries are not going to do as much. So I get 1 Colossus and disable the other. I'm able to kill off a bunch of the units, but you know, he's still warping in DT defensively, and I lose the last ghost. So that's where we kind of have to turn around, turn tail and run. I want to kill that Dark Shrine so badly, but you know, instead we're killing, you know, 2 or 3 zealots and then flying away. But this has all been so that I can buy some time to just get some more marauders out, because now at this point he doesn't really have anything that can stop a large number of marauders. He can't really afford a ton of zealots. He's trying to get splash damage out. He only is mining from 1 nexus. You know, I'm only mining from one place too, but at least I can float the CCs across and continue calling down the mules. And this is actually where things almost go south. This 1 DT trying to kill another CC, and I don't have a scan or a Raven left again, or any ghosts. So this is it's a little scary. We had to land this CC over here, and finally we're able to clean up that last Dark Templar. And now it's 1 Colossus, 4 sentries, and 3 stalkers. He still has 3/3, which is scary, but now the army supply is, you know, twice in my favor. Again, we should be fine as long as we don't fight in the worst possible way. There's not really anywhere where he can engage us, like in a choke point for that Colossus to do really well. I've got enough marauders now where I don't think he can really do much. He's got a couple of Templar warping in here for Archons, but at this point I think I've got enough army supply wise to deal with that. And now we're also getting ghosts back again, so it's starting to come up Millhouse, starting to. And this is the game where I wasn't sure where to take my 3rd base, and now I realize like I should be taking this 3rd base every game on this map. This back 3rd base is a lot harder to defend, I've noticed, and I think that's just because of how far you have to travel compared to the main base. So we're able to stem and kite some of these Archons down, but we're losing medevacs. But we're keeping the majority of our units alive. We're able to kite back and not fight the Colossus, which has been nice. And even though, you know, he's kind of winning this fight because of his upgrades, I still barely have that supply lead, and even just mining this one base is just giving me just barely enough income to keep up the Marauder production. And you know, we're able to jump on the Colossus, kill the last Archon, and now we're able to kill all the big heavy tech units. And now I just need to survive until some more bio units come out, and we are going to be able to clean this up. There it is. We're cleaning up, killing that. We're not going to lose a 5th CC, not today. And we even get this sentry because he doesn't get to pull that back. So being able to just scrappily keep ourselves in it, you know, never give up, never surrender. Able to keep killing these Dark Templar that are beyond annoying at this point. Like, he's just always landing them or putting them somewhere where I want to land a CC, or wherever my units are not, he's got a DT there all the time. And even now he's killing some of the SCVs that were repairing the CC. Almost killed. Just a super diligent player with his Templars. But now we're at a spot where he still hasn't been able to really retake a Nexus to mine with. And now we're at a point where his upgraded units don't matter because he's so low on supply again. We're almost double his supply once again. So even though I think I'm 2-1 still. Yeah, I'm 2-1 on upgrades, but I'm just gonna have way more than him. And with Ghosts, we're gonna be able to kind of mitigate the upgrade advantage. We're gonna be able to just get rid of, oh no, that Dark Templar killing another Ghost. You can see how good this guy is with his Dark Templar. It's pretty crazy. But now you can see that his only army is 2 Archons, a Sentry, and 2 Stalkers. So again, I want to move across the map. I've got all these bio units, and even though he's got tongue-tied, even though he's got those Dark Templar, it's not going to do a whole lot here. Even if he kills, you know, 10 more SCVs, as long as I can take out this Nexus, we should be able to win the game. So EMP goes off on some of the Archons. We kite back, kill the Nexus, and we're able to just deny even more mining from him. And, you know, I go for the next Nexus, and he doesn't even try to save that one. And I think we see GG pretty soon. Gonna go for the engagement here. Actually, no. I try to pick up. Oh, no. What do I have at home, though? Do I have anything at home? Not... Oh, a couple of units. I have enough units at home that the Colossus, even with +3 and a couple Archons, aren't that scary. As long as I engage out in the open, and now I've got a couple of Vikings to help out too. And we just want to make sure we control a few Marauders to attack the Colossus while everything else attacks, and there's GG. So that's episode 7. Hope you guys enjoyed the chaotic game. I had a lot of fun playing this one, and I'll see you guys next week. Hopefully I'll be on time on Friday or Saturday. Cheers.